to record this. Perfect timing, Emma, so that you can always go back to it and practice some of these strategies as we go. So I will share my screen. All right, so today we're going to be talking about some strategies for change for mindfulness, and we have Dr. Ed Mink. I'm not sure if this is your official current title, but he is our wellness guru. And one of our beloved instructors in our department. He teaches a lot of our wellness and yoga classes, and he'll be having us practice some mindfulness strategies today. So just some quick Defend updates. Hopefully everyone had a good time practicing some positive self-talk. I know Dr. Baum and I have been trying to practice it in our own professional and personal lives as well. And we're good accountability buddies, keeping tabs on each other when we may be doing some negative self-talk. This week's challenge, which will be posted in Facebook, and Emma will send out the reminder, is to try meditation, and some of these strategies we'll be going over today. Some of our Defend team, they're working on some YouTube demos that will be available to you, have come from some requests from our defenders. So the importance of sleep and foods that may help, as well as going through the 5 components of fitness with Bryce. So he's going to be working on flexibility for the next one. And just a reminder, we will still be having our personalized coaching sessions next week. So feel free to join us. I know some of you will be on spring break. Some of us will not be on spring break. So if you have any questions, I know we're going to be talking about foods to fuel exercise on Tuesday, but definitely feel free to join those next week. And those are all the reminders, I believe. Anything else, Emma?
Nope, I think you covered it all. Thank you.
All right, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ed, and he is in charge. So over to you, Ed.
Thank you so very, very much. And let me say that it's truly a pleasure to be here. And yeah, the title was pretty close. It's Director of Wellness and Health Promotion. So we have those two pieces. And I'm here at the Pat Walker Health Center on the campus of the University of Arkansas. And I'm so pleased because I just absolutely positively love to talk about wellness, love to talk about holistic health. And truly, truly, one of the foundations of all of that is to live ever more mindfully. So anytime I have an opportunity to, share some information about mindfulness, but most importantly, some practices and some strategies, it's always a pleasure and a thrill to do that. So let me begin with this phrase. Yesterday is history, tomorrow a mystery. The only moment we ever truly have is the present, And most fundamentally, the definition that I like to use about mindfulness is mindfulness is to be fully and completely alive in the present moment. To be fully and completely alive in the present moment. And perhaps more functionally or more operationally, another definition is mindfulness is being fully and completely present in the present moment. So it's all about awareness. It's all about intentionality, intentionally focusing on the present and living in the present. And perhaps another way to say that is to be in the present, to be well in the present moment. Interestingly, about 15 or so years ago, I was truly feeling like a dinosaur, that it was time, I was beginning to think maybe it might be time to think about retirement, especially a number of my colleagues I've been here now on campus. I'm in my 33rd year here at the University of Arkansas. Because so much of what I do and try to share from a yoga perspective, a meditation perspective, a Tai Chi perspective, from a mindfulness perspective, with the advent of technology and so much focus on the internet and all of that, I was really feeling that I was beginning to, might be time to just sort of fade away up into the mountains, maybe of Tibet. And then, science began, science and research, the blending of the two, began to look at ancient practices like meditation and like yoga. And we're now able, and Dr. Hickey can speak so much better to this, I am sure, but now we can do research. We can hook electrodes up to the brain, and we can measure cortisol levels, and we can see what part of the brain is firing, when we're meditating, for example, or when we're breathing, we're doing Tai Chi. And so suddenly the science said, hey, these ancient mindfulness practices really, really work scientifically. And suddenly I was back in vogue, at least from a practice perspective. The things that have been around for an awfully long time, experientially, we know they work. And now the science, says they work as well. So I'm going to keep hanging around for a while and kind of talk about this mindfulness stuff and whatever. So being fully and completely alive, being fully and completely present in the present moment. So let's experience or share some of that together. So wherever you are, and we'll just do this seated today. Wherever you are, scoot your bottom away from your chair back. Okay, scoot your bottom away from your chair back. Anytime we either consciously or unconsciously are in contact with the chair back, we tend to slump and we tend to lean and whatever. When I was doing my yoga teacher training, the guru who focused on meditation, mindfulness, breath work, said there are 2 requirements for good mindful meditative practice. And that is, we must be in alignment and it must be enjoyable. Those are the only 2 requirements to practice mindful breathing, to focus on the present through breath work and whatever. So both physiologically as well as kind of setting the mental state, we want to come into alignment. So scoot your bottom away from your chair back. Place your feet right down below your knees. Place your feet right down below your knees. Okay? We're going to do this a little bit more formally today. And then if you'd like to sort of fuss with it, add your own take, that's perfectly fine and actually encouraged. But take your left hand and just relax it in your lap. Kind of like a little cup. And now take your right hand and place it in your left. And now connect the thumbs gently. Okay? What we've done is we've created a circle of energy around the heart. Okay? So now, to come into alignment, close your eyes. And now, with intention, lift your spine and lift your heart. Broaden the sternum, perhaps by drawing the shoulder blades together just a little bit. And now allow your chin to rest ever so slightly forward. Don't compress your chin all the way down to your sternum, but just allow the chin to rest ever so slightly. So lift the spine, lift the heart, broaden the sternum, allow the chin to rest ever so slightly forward. And before we go on, once again, let's come back to imagine that your heart is in the center of this circle of energy that you've created with cupping your hands, up your arms, across the crown of your head. And now, even though your eyes are closed, focus your internal gaze on that point at the root of your nose in between your eyebrows. That point right at the root of your nose in between your eyebrows. It's called ajna. Ajna, the third eye, the sun center chakra. And now, simply bring your awareness to your breath. And for the next several moments, observe and follow your breath. Now, it's very easy as we begin to really focus on breath work to almost automatically begin to slump or lean back. So maintain your alignment. And now, with intention, begin to slow down your breathing. As you inhale, extend and lengthen the in-breath. And now as you exhale, deepen and lengthen the out-breath. Inhale longer, slower, more complete inhalation. And now a longer, slower, deeper exhale. Now, as we proceed through this little mindfulness breathing exercise, it's very likely that thoughts will present. And sometimes people seem to automatically think that as you begin to practice this stuff, you're supposed to just unclutter and not have thoughts, which really isn't human. But one of the keys to effective mindful breathing is that you simply acknowledge any thought that presents itself without judgment, without evaluation, simply acknowledge it. And because it entered on its own, it will also leave your consciousness on its own, following your acknowledgement and gently reminding yourself to return your focus to the breath. And now, with your next inhale, intentionally allow your belly to open and inflate like a balloon. Bring all that air up to open the space around your heart. And now at the very top of the inhale, lift your collarbones. And now as you exhale like a wave, let the breath flow from your upper down through your middle lower lungs to release the abdomen. Inflate the belly breath. Expand and open the lungs, the heart area, and lift the collarbones. This is called Dirja, three-part complete yogic breathing. Inflate the belly, open the heart, lift the collarbones, and then, like a wave, the breath flows from your upper down through your middle lower lungs to release the abdomen. So, this is how I introduce mindful sitting, a basic foundation of more elaborate meditation, but an absolutely wonderful tool to help us become mindful and present and in the now. So you first come into alignment, bring awareness to your breath, intentionally begin to slow down your breathing, and then finally, Dirja breathing. Belly, open the chest, lift the collarbones, and a three-part exhale. And now when you're ready, no need to rush, but open your eyes. Kind of get reconnected to your external world. We were there in the internal world for a few moments. Namaste. Now, what I'd like to do, can I still have a few more minutes before Q&A or? Okay, all right. So some people, such as Mink, really struggle with just sitting and breathing. Even though what I just shared with you is a wonderful tool, and one of the things I encourage students to do all the time, Actually did it yesterday. And I encourage all of you, we're coming out of it, right? Dr. Hickey, it seems like there are some encouraging signs about finally getting past the pandemic, right? And maybe we'll be able to shake hands and hug again and do all of that stuff. But we're still going to continue to be so often at our computers and our workstations and all of that. And certainly be overwhelmingly in that way for the last 17 months. So what I just suggested, and I just talked with students about this and last night and almost every day, just periodically throughout the course of your day, just push back, stay in your chair, and do a little bit of this mindful breathing, especially when you begin to get overwhelmed. But for me, I like then to add some movement. And my sense is Dr. Hickey really appreciates this part because exercise is medicine, and movement and just the joy of movement. So if you perhaps struggle with just sitting and doing the breath work that we just did, the next step up is simply to add some gentle movement. And you can do this either seated or standing. But I'd like to encourage you to play along for the next couple of moments, and we'll maintain our alignment. And now just begin to gently rotate our neck from side to side. You don't even have to take it back to compress the cervical spine, but just take it side to side, or if you'd like to roll it back. That's wonderful. And now release your chin down towards your sternum, look directly forward, and then slightly angle your gaze up, and then forward, sometimes when we're just focusing on the breathing, we still have that monkey mind. But as soon as you begin to add intentionally some movement, that gives you another layer to unclutter. So now just look over each shoulder. I always start my yoga classes with this, and at this point, if there are other people in the classroom, I say as you make eye contact with a fellow yogi, make sure you smile at them. So imagine that you're looking over your shoulder at a fellow yogi and you're smiling. Turn your chin now 45 degrees, reach it down to your collarbone, and isometrically compress together. And now up and reach to the other side. Essentially what we're introducing now is a little bit of chair yoga. You don't have to go to a yoga class. You don't even have to stand up or get on a mat to do yoga. You can just sit. This is, Google, it's a hoot. Google chair yoga sometime or desktop yoga. But we're essentially, so you just add these simple little movements. Take your arms down along the side of your body, shake them out. Lift the humeri and roll the shoulders back. Lift the humeri and roll the shoulders back. Lift and roll. Lift and roll forward. Lift and roll forward. Lift and roll forward. Keep your right arm down along the side of your body. Raise your left arm overhead and just stretch to the side of it. Inhale, exhale, come on back up and go to the other side. Create length in the side body. One of the magnificent things about a chair is you can really do wonderful spinal twists while you're sitting down. So take your arm and reach it either behind your chair back or just to the seat. And then take your other arm and place it outside your leg. Soften your belly, twist, and look over your shoulder. When you do spinal twists in yoga, and especially when you soften the belly, as you breathe, you're actually massaging the internal organs. We don't often think about exercising our internal organs. Inhale, exhale, come on back to neutral. Before we go to the other side, another three-part kind of breathing thing. Bring your arms up in front of you, take them out to the side, reach overhead, touch the palms together. all on the inhale. Hands back to back, one long exhale. This is my little go-to mini vinyasa. Whenever you match movement with breath work and yoga, it's called flow for vinyasa. I will often start my day. I come into the office and throw my keys, usually on the floor, and then before I even open my computer, I just do a few gentle movements like this. My great hope would be if you remember nothing from this little session today, then at least this 3-part inhale. So now take the other arm down along the side of the body, raise the arm that you didn't previously. Again, create length in the side body. And now we'll just finish with a mini sun salute. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot to go the twist to the other side. Thank you, Aaron. I was moving around a little bit. Yeah, twist, take your hand behind the chair back or the seat, other arm across the body, and twist. That's right, we had done the side extensions on both sides. And now, if you've ever done yoga, and likely even if you have never done yoga, you know of sun salutes or sun salutations. Overhead reach, full forward fold, downward dog. A mini sun salute you can do in your chair. Just reach overhead. Draw the skin tightly across the palms. Spread your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width. For the next couple of moments, breathe directly into and out of your heart. As you inhale, draw the breath directly into your heart center. And as you exhale, radiate your breath out into the universe. Inhale directly into the heart center. Exhale, radiate your breath. One more time. Breathe into your heart. Exhale. And now, this time as you inhale, just begin to fold forward. And then slowly, if you would like, you can either go halfway or fold all the way down. Now, if you have a chair, if you have a desk or whatever in front of you, you would just reach your arms and rest your forehead down on your desk or the table. Otherwise, continue belly soft, crown of your head resting down in between your shoulders. Release the gripping around the tailbone, belly very soft. Just hang here like a rag doll. Open the spacing in between your vertebrae. And now as you inhale, begin to slowly unfold, circle your arms out to the side. Touch the palms together. And float your hands down in front of your heart. This is seated mountain pose. This is standing mountain pose. This is seated mountain pose. So I see my time is nearly up, right? 12:30?
Yes.
So do we have, I don't know exactly how this works, but something said about maybe Q&A or whatever, but otherwise I got one final thing to share, but if there are questions, I will try to answer those.
Yeah, does anyone have any questions for Dr. Mink? I know this was very helpful. I was in Zoom all morning and I feel even just a little bit of stretching. Do you have any suggestions?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any suggestions on
Oh, geez, I'm losing the audio. On sound therapy.
I think it's my.
In all honesty, I don't know a whole lot about sound therapy, but if it's has anything to do with mantras and Tibetan singing bowls and just listening to lovely meditative music. Crystal singing bowls, yeah. I have a Tibetan singing bowl, and it's just wonderful, wonderfully relaxing, and a beautiful tool to help with meditation and such. I'm guessing maybe is that what sound therapy is? Whoever asked that question? Yes. No, you're very welcome. You know, see, I was going to actually say that, Karen, because first you start with just breathing. Then you can add some mindful movement. And then you can add some music or sound. And then you can do some guided imagery or any combination of those things. So, you know, there remain layers and different aspects that you can add to your basic mindfulness practice. One of the ancient meditations that I love, take your hands like this, and you're going to connect your first finger to your thumb, middle finger to your thumb, ring finger to your thumb, and pinky to your thumb. And you're going to say, sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. So now you're not only seated, you're moving, but you're actually adding some sound. And you do that out loud, and then you whisper, and then you say it silently, and it's a beautiful, it actually translates as birth, life, death, rebirth. Birth, life, death, rebirth. Sa, ha, na. So another, hopefully, lovely little tool. Aaron, I thought of a couple of things that I'm going to send to you that maybe you can send out to the group.
Yeah,
okay?
I was going to ask if you had any suggested resources. I know there's a lot on the internet. Is there anything, any good yogis?
Yes, there's one. I mean, you're absolutely right. You can Google anything, you know, and find all of this stuff. But my favorite site is something called wholesomeresources.com. Wholesome, just as it sounds. Wholesomeresources.com. There's a lot of free stuff there, a lot of stuff you can purchase, but the Satanama meditation is there, the moon salutation, a bunch of desktop yoga, all kinds of things. But that would be my, but I'm going to send you some stuff now, okay?
Yeah, we'd love to send it out to the team. Wholesome Resources. I think this is it. I'll put the link in the chat.
There it is, right there. Yep. That's my favorite, you know. And of course, now there are things like called Headspace and Calm and whatever that you can, you know, there are various apps where you can get the music and the meditation and all of that. But that's my favorite. That's one of the first places that I was introduced to many, many years ago. And I've actually trained, her name is Julie Lusk. She's an amazing yoga teacher, wellness specialist, and I've had the pleasure of actually training briefly with her, and just amazing stuff. But I am going to send you a few things to send out to the group.
That would be great. In the interest of time, I think, Ed, if you have a last little exercise to send us off to our rest of our Friday with.
I do just, you want to do some boxing drills? No. No. This is a mini version of a loving kindness meditation. So once again, come into alignment. And you know, there are 7 chakras from the root to the crown, these energy vortices. So we're going to take our hands overhead in a prayer hand position. This is the crown chakra. We'll lower them in front of our third eye chakra, in front of our throat chakra, and we'll finish in front of the heart. Okay? Those 4 levels. And now everyone please repeat out loud after me. May I be well.
May I be well.
Lower your hands. May I be happy and peaceful.
May I be happy and peaceful.
In front of your throat. May I be free from danger and suffering.
May I be free from danger and suffering.
And we finish in front of our heart. May I be filled with loving kindness.
May I be filled with loving kindness.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mink. I look forward to seeing those resources. It's always great to see you.
Yep, and I'll just,
everybody.
excellent.
Perfect.
Thank you all so much. In Japanese, it's domo arigato. Domo arigato.
Yes. Namaste. Bye, Ed.
See you guys. Thank you.